In this talk, I will share some of the insight I have gained into the mechanisms that underlie ongoing weight problems, both extremes of it, from anorexia to obesity, in both men and women. While working with a client who'd been battling with weight control for years, I recognized a split within her. The part that tried new diets, that pushed her to exercise, was very extreme and very harsh. Its goal was to whip into shape the fat part, the unacceptable, the rejected part. This highlighted a particular remedy which, when introduced, allowed her to hold the pain she called her heart scald and to bear with it. This intensely painful part of her, once it was made visible and accessible, revealed a beautiful, gentle, graceful aspect of her nature that is very precious and was very hidden. Exactly the opposite of the harsh extreme of the diet and exercise sergeant major. My spiritual teacher often said, it's always easier to see bad things in other people first. Having recognized this pattern in my client, I then saw something very similar in myself. As a teenager entering puberty, I rejected everything feminine and remained almost stick-thin until I married. Tense, terrified and frigid described me well for most of my life up to that point. Being so thin was a symptom of this anxiety and self-rejection. On my marriage, I had just turned 50, I went to the other extreme, into obesity. While I was not happy to be obese, I refused to engage in any diet or exercise regimes. I understood that the solution to my weight would have to be addressed at a far deeper level than my behaviour. Throughout the years of my spiritual practice, I knew there was an intense pain that no matter how much effort I directed at gaining access to it, I couldn't get close. It was just too painful. It impacted my life, keeping my meditation shallow, not being able to bear my own company, turning to the radio, eating too much, or some other distraction to keep me from feeling. The insight gained with my client allowed me, using the same remedy, to dismantle my own self-rejection mechanisms and to open to new depths of my sexuality. I have experienced new depths of self-acceptance, and lost, shattered and rejected parts of me have been reintegrated. During this process, I lost pounds and found that I had made some lifestyle changes which were simple, effortless and full of pleasure. The goal of the process was self-acceptance, and a side benefit was a return to a healthy weight. Since this experience, I have worked with other clients who have battled with weight. I see the same pattern. Some sensitive aspect of the person which finds it just too painful to be in the world, or which has been deemed unacceptable, is locked away, padded by weight, or is worn thin and tense in a state of hypervigilance. And I see the split, the self-rejection and self-persecution, manifested in its extreme form in the anorexic state. When supported by the right remedies, clients begin to blossom. They get to know the aspects of their hidden beauty and sensitive sides, and their relationship with their body changes. Overweight clients tend to lose weight with this process. Clients at the thin end of the spectrum tend to soften and become more fluid, less rigid or tense. More important than weight gain or loss, they gain an ease and a self-confidence in their sexuality and an ability to enjoy their body in a new way. It's a gentle process. If you'd like to find out more about how I work, my details are on the screen at the end.